really felt good about the work that we did. Of course, it hasn't all fully developed. So I think maybe I'll have more to say when some of our large projects turn, and we're actually getting people in. Right now we're still at the stage of taking what we learned in working with your team and turning it into something that actually will change the customer experience, because things do take so long. So I'll be really happy to kind of work through the entire process, which for me actually will probably be, I think ultimately it might be like a 5-year project from start to finish. It's not quick, not quick at all. So, maybe I'll notice some other things or some changes that I would have made. But, at this time, I'm just really proud of the direction that we started taking the project in and the direction that I see it going, because I feel like we're starting out really strong. And I have a really solid base of understanding with the customer and what the customer wants. The interesting thing is, I think I end up coming up with more questions every time. So I could definitely see actually doing, especially with such a long-term project, like a 5-year project, and considering now that we've been through COVID, has that changed people's mentality about what the customer experience should look like? Are they now wanting less of that face-to-face interaction because of COVID? Is that going to stay like that? Or will people go back to wanting that face-to-face interaction? So I definitely think that also what the customer wants and the customer journey has to change and morph with time. And so it's not something, that we can just be done with because we did it once. And I have more questions to ask now. And as we're working on building up this new program, I'm specifically talking about our new food and beverage retail concession program at the airport. I may have more questions that need to be asked. Now I'm thinking about design, and I know from feedback that I've gotten from the customer that people love the look and feel of the Albuquerque International Sunport. It's a very cultural airport. We bring in a lot of history, a lot of Native American art. We have really authentic brick floors. We have vigas in our great hall. So it's a really authentic airport, and people love that culture and history. But also, as we are, of course, moving forward in time, are there more modern conveniences that they want also? And can we find a way to balance that and keep the charm and history of our airport, but bring in those modern conveniences that really enhance the passenger experience in today's world? So, those are some questions I'm having moving forward, and I'm not sure, that all of those will be answered. But I think, different iterations of work and, continuing to kind of build on your knowledge, because it always changes, is important. And there's always more questions to ask.
And, Nyika, what I tell clients is never expect one study to remove your confusion completely, but always expect one study to elevate your confusion to the next level. But I want you to know your instincts are spot on. It's always wise to continue to update. And some of the things that, we did at Albuquerque, for you at the airport, were one part of it. But a lot of things that you're talking about are things that we've done for, restaurant chains. Like when Panera was revamping their cafes, then there was a lot of journey work we did inside their stores in leveraging tools like eye tracking that help them see what the customer is seeing.
Oh, wow.
Inside, yes. So it becomes very powerful if you think about it. If with all the features and the amenities and the beauty aspects you have in the airport, but then you're thinking about revamping or redesign or what's really important, then, there are things you can do to ask people, and there are also things you can do to actually see what they see and where they're focused on.
Very cool.
So
yeah, I'm just, I'm excited to continue with the process and learn more, because as I said, with a big project like this, I mean, you don't want to go the wrong way. And all of a sudden, I don't want to give everyone an ultra modern airport redesign when that's not at all what they wanted. So it's, I'm excited to continue the journey and learning. It's always good to learn more about what you guys do because you do amazing work.
Thank you, Nyika.